Hi all. So in the blog app, we added the form validation. Now the validation process is completed. It's time to connect this blog app to our REST server. To do that, we need a Flutter package called HTTP. If you go on a page of HTTP package on pubdev, then you can see that here is a very good documentation. You can sure take a help from this documentation to connect your REST server with the Flutter app. Now to install it, I have to copy this and paste it on the pubspec.yaml file. Let me do that. Then if you hit the save, then it will run the Flutter pub-get to install the package. The second thing is that I will take a help of another package called logger. So what is logger? Let me give an example that how it will help us. If you remember that after the successfully validation, I am printing the validated message on the debug console. But what is the problem? The problem is that if we see on a debug console that it's very clumsy. We are not able to see clearly. But if we use the logger package, then our message will be print like this. It will be easily understandable to us that what is the information or the debug message in our debug console. There is many format of the logger. For the debugging, for the information, you can take help from the official page. Now it's time to install it. Again, I will copy this and paste it on the pubspec.yaml file. Let this install. In the meanwhile, I will create a network handler file for the handling our HTTP request. In this file, we will route all the HTTP requests like GET, POST to use it on our blog app. I will show you the demo that how it will help us. Let me import the package called HTTP in this file. Then I will create a class, name will be network handler, and inside the class I will create a string variable called base URL. If you watched the last video, I showed you that there is 3 ways to get a base URL for your blog app. Please watch it first. Now, if you remember that this is my base URL. In this base URL, there is parameter that I am sending from the backend to the front end. And what is exactly mean the base URL? If you add the /user/register, that is the endpoint for our registering a new user. In the base URL, the first part will be always same. After that, there will be endpoint called /user/login or /profile. There, after the base URL, only this point is changing. The first point till the .com is not changing anymore. So this is a base URL, and we have to declare this base URL inside our network handler file. Let me do that. Now I will create a get method to handle a get request. It will be a return type, will be future dynamic because we are using async and await. This method will take a parameter called URL. The URL will be like /user/register, the endpoint URL. Okay. Now let's call the HTTP GET request from this method, because this method is for the GET. Now to do that, I will create a response that will be type of word, because we don't know that what will be a response from the backend. Then I will use the HTTP GET. Then I will pass the URL over there. But you know that the URL is not fully completed because we have to add the base URL before the URL. To do that, I will create another function called formatter. The formatter will take a string as an input, the URL as an input, and add and concatenate the base URL first before the URL. Then again it will return this URL. Let me call this inside the get method, and I will store it inside the URL variable. And if I will pass this URL on the get method, then the thing will be okay. Now it's time to use the logger. I will log the response body, that what we are getting from this URL inside there, and also I will log the status code, that what the status code we are getting from the response. Let me import the logger first. We can take a help of the logger official page, that how we can import it. After importing it, we are getting an error because the package is not fully installed, I think. Let me again hit the save on a pub spec, then it will install the package. The error is not gone yet. Let me go on the official page, that what we are missing. Okay, we have to create an instance of logger before using it. Let me create it. If I will create the logger instance, then now the error is gone. Now we can use this network handler class inside the sign up page. Let me use that. For that, I have to create an instance or object of this network handler class. After creating it, I have to call this get method inside the sign up button. Let me do that. I will delete the validate print from here, and I will call the network handler get method over there. I will not pass anything right now because we are testing it, so I just have to call the base URL first. Now if I will click a sign up button, then let's see that what will be logged inside the debug console. You can see that we are getting a status code as a 200, and let's see that what we are getting from the body. In the body we are getting the message as a response that we have in the base URL endpoint. You can see on the browser also. It means that our blog server REST API is connected with the blog app. Now what we have to do is we have to take the data from the username, email and password and send the data to the blog server API. To implement it, again we have to create a post method inside the network handler. I am doing this because in the production level the principle we follow, that we create a separate file for the handling a REST request. I am following that pattern in this project also. So it will take a two parameter. First one is URL and second one is body. You can see on the HTTP package that we have to pass a body parameter on the post request. The body type will be map. It will map the string to string. You can see that in the body we are mapping a one string to the another string. That is called the JSON format. So let me do that first. Then again I will call the formatter to format the URL. Then we have to make the post request. To make a post request, we will call the http.post and we will pass the URL and the body on the post request. Now, with the help of status code, we will check that our status code will be 200 or 201. Then we will send the response back to the sign up page. Because if you are getting a status code of 200 and 201, it's mean okay, there is nothing error. But to debug the thing that what we are getting from the response, I will log the response.body inside the post request. I will also write the response.body after the if condition. If status code will not be 200 or 201, then I have to see the error, what we are getting back from the response and what is the response code. Now hit the save and let's go and call this on the sign up page. But first we need a data from the text form field. To get a data from the text form field, I will create a text edit controller. Using this controller, we will get the data from the text form field. I will create three variables. The name will be username controller, email controller and password controller for these three text form field. Inside the text form field, we have a parameter called controller. I will pass this text edit controller on this controller parameter. Let me pass it first. After the passing it, I will get access of text from the text form field using the controller.txt. But first let me create a variable called data. The type of data will be map. Again, we have to send the data in the JSON format. To create it, I will use the type of map string. Inside the data, I will create a username field and we will get access the username text with help of username controller.txt. Similarly for the email and password. Then let me print the data inside it. I mean how the data will look like after I will click the sign up. If I will click the sign up, then the form validation error will come. Let me handle it using passing devstack101 as a username, devstackin@gmail.com as an email, and in the password I will pass 12345678 because we have a length greater than or equal to 8 as a validation. If I will click a sign up, then we are nothing getting back. Let me show you that why we are getting this. We are getting this because we are calling the network handler.get. So let me comment it out. Then after that I will click the sign up. Then you can see the data is printed. I mean you can see the data over there, that username devstack101 and other parameter. Now we have to call the post method, and in the post method we will provide our endpoint. I will do this thing on the next video because I have to validate the username also. I mean the username unique is not, I have to check it before sending the data to the REST server. So in the next video what I will cover, that I will create a endpoint called the check the username, and we will add the validation of the unique username property in our sign up page. Then I will also show you that how we can deploy the changes of your blog server on the Heroku. At the end, I will request you that please like this video and subscribe this channel and help me to grow this channel. Thank you and happy coding. See you on the next video.